As a sales professional, building rapport is a part of the game. You connect with individual, you get a chance to get to know them, and they get a chance to know you, and naturally that leads to more opportunities being created. However, how can we go about making sure that we create the rapport and relationship in an effective way? Today we're going to talk to you about a unique strategy. You're going to love this one. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we're going to talk to our good friend, Collin Mitchell. Collin runs an organization that helps entrepreneurs and sales leaders to be able to have a revenue-first podcast. And he creates some amazing shows, and I had the opportunity to be a part of some of those podcasts. Today, though, Collin comes with his sales experience, and he's going to share with us some ideas, some unique ways that we can go about building rapport, some effective strategies that we can implement. It's a powerful episode. I hope you find benefit with it. If this is your first time watching one of our videos or listening to our podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. If you've been listening for a minute, but you haven't done so already, leave us a rating and review. It would be greatly appreciated. But rapport, in your definition, what is building rapport and why do you feel it's so important?
Yeah, I mean, people need to know you. They need to like you and trust you, right? People talk about this all the time. And there's some people who disagree with that, right? I'm of the camp that know, like, and trust is important. I'm not even sure where you sit on the side of that, but maybe we'll find out. I don't know. What's your take?
No, I'm still in that campfire. I think it's important. I think there's in some way there's a variant of that knowledge that's necessary, because it goes back to just based on like our human experience. We like to be with people who are like us, and if I'm going to do business with somebody, even though I may not necessarily have to go fishing with you or go golfing, I still want to say I like Collin enough that I'm going to do business with them, even though because you could probably do a dang good job, but if I just have you rub me the wrong way, I feel like I just I have this preconceived idea from social media about you, then I'm going to let that taint my opportunity to go forward with you, and it may be my loss, but it was because I didn't like you. You know what I mean? But I think there's a lot to that.
I think there's people who think like, okay, that's not necessary, and I believe it is, right? But there's also people who think that it is necessary, which I believe, but that alone is not enough, right? Like you still got to be able to solve a problem for someone. Just knowing, liking, and trusting you isn't enough for us to do business together, right? But I believe it's a key ingredient to having a business relationship with somebody, right? Yeah. And especially if you have a long sales process or enterprise seller where you're spending 6, 12, 18 months with people, I mean, you kind of need to like them a little bit.
Oh! Right? I hate that guy. I'm going on a call with him for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, like when they see, your name on the calendar, are they excited or are they like, oh, I gotta meet with Donald. So I think it's important. All right. Regardless of where people sit, we could all agree you got to build rapport.
We don't want the same old methods of building rapport, because we do that and we know what that is. Mm-hmm. However, if I can find more unique way, because the result, go back to what you said, know, like, and trust. If that's the ultimate result, can I still establish know, like, and result? Know, like, and trust with different results or different methods of getting there. And that's where this avenue comes in with podcasting. Because if you reach out to me and say, Donald, I just heard your podcast on the Sales Enablement podcast. Absolutely love it. I look forward to talking to you next week. I'm like, dang. All right. I can't wait to see what he liked about that episode. That's that cool. So, what are some of the means that we can go about, maybe some unique ways that we can go about building rapport? You mentioned social and video. You mind talking to that for just like a minute or two?
Yeah, sure. So social, video, we could talk briefly on both of those, right? So social is huge. Social is huge. I mean, if you're in sales, you got to make time for social. I spend 90% of my effort on LinkedIn. Other platforms I spend a little bit of time, but just not really where the people I want to connect with spend most of their time on LinkedIn. So creating content, like original content on a consistent basis, is typically the first thing that doesn't get done when you're busy as a seller. And you got to make time to invest in the platforms, because I can't tell you how much it actually pays off. LinkedIn is by far our number one lead source for us personally. And me and everybody on my team put original content out consistently. Even the newer members that are a little bit awkward at first, a little bit uncomfortable at first, and they just get into a bit of a rhythm. And if you lead by example, it makes it easier for them to do it as well. But I can't even tell you, like, I'm a little crazy. I'm one of those crazy people who still loves making cold calls. I actually do it on a LinkedIn Live.
That's amazing.
Weekly. I do it LinkedIn Live weekly. We make cold calls for an hour. And
hold on, cold calling on LinkedIn?
Yeah, live.
My man.
Yeah. And so the interesting thing is last, I think it was 2 weeks ago, cold called into a guy, and he knew exactly who I was. Damn! I didn't know who he was, but he seen my content, and it was just like talking to a friend. And of course, we booked the meeting. But that's the power of how social can build that rapport for you if you're really investing time. And it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time, consistency. I post twice a day on the platform. I engage with people, and that is just kind of proof that it works, right? And also, if you're using social to connect and build relationships, they're going to check out your profile. Is it optimized? Is it not? Are you putting out anything of value? Or are you talking about President's Club and how many times you hit quota? Your content strategy should serve as education to the people that you need to build relationships with in your role.
Come on, bro. Give me your best tip on video as well.
Best tip on video is to use it at every possible chance that you get. Prospecting, after the discovery, after the demo, like anytime you're getting ready to type a long email, use a video. And every time people are like, at what part of the sales process should I be using video? And my answer is, at every stage of the sales process is when you should be using video. And they're like, well, what's the perfect video? Perfect video is the video that's not perfect. Because it shows that you're human. Maybe I stumble over a word or mess something up, and I can kind of laugh at myself and just keep going. One take video. That's it. Because, people want to know that they're dealing with people, not some stuffy corporate perfect video. So the perfect video is the video that's not perfect, and you should be using it at all stages of the sales process.
Love to have you on a show. Thank you again for coming out here and sharing your wisdom with us. If folks want to get connected with you to glean some more from the great Mr. Collin, because you exceeded our expectation, how did they go about doing that?
Simple. Whatever podcast platform you're listening to this awesome podcast on, you can search out Sales Transformation, and that's the best place to find out what's new and exciting with us.
That was Collin Mitchell, and if you want to go ahead and find more information about him and some of the cool things that he's doing, you can go ahead and find information. I got some stuff here, Salescast, in our show notes. You can find their details down below. Get a chance to check them out if you're an entrepreneur or if you're a sales leader looking for your own podcast. Check them out. As always, I want you to thrive and succeed. I want you to find more ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want you to raise your level of thinking and go out and do big things.